Hello, what's up, Guru Nation? What it do, everybody? Welcome in to a brand new Guru Nation mock draft. 12-team PPR, single QB, back to our roots with this single quarterback drafting, and thought it was fitting to do a single QB draft considering that a lot of running backs and receivers are already dealing with injuries, dealing with stuff. It's pretty crazy. Hell, even a quarterback, Joe Burrow, was dealing with a calf injury, one of the top QBs. So it's been pretty crazy training camp. Key to it is survival. Unfortunately, there's already been injuries to discuss, but it changes up the draft board. We've got risers and fallers. We're going to see how this thing goes. First mock draft of August. And yes, we need one more. We need one more for the last spot. If not, we'll just rock without it. But let's get this thing going, y'all. We're on the intro and then be right back and start the draft. Guru Nation, appreciate y'all. Hello, what's up, Guru Nation? Hell yeah, always love that intro. Shout out to Loudness War, my cousin Matthew, for getting that the music on the track, and then to Complicated Kyrie, videographer out in Las Vegas, getting the video together. So let's get this draft going. We're not going to waste any time. Got Minnesota Marty on the clock at the 101. Shout out to Marty. We'll see what he does here. And we've got it filled up, y'all. Thanks for joining there. Big Lou got the last spot. Shout out to Big Lou. And thanks to everyone in the chat. Got Crispy. Hit that like button for the Guru Nation. Yes, please do so. Crispy in here at pick 6. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching, bro. And Miles Peacock, my man, the Peacock. Kaka, Guru. What up, man? What up? Hey, if you want to get on the stream, bro, I'll send you the link. I know we got the Playmakers later. Of course, got to shout out Bogey and Huss. GMM Network, 420 Fantasy Hustler, always lit on those channels. Going to be live again later tonight with the Real Fantasy Playmakers. I might be a little late for that one because I got something to do after this one, but we'll see if I can make it. Seems like now that it's August, now the calendar's flipped to August, my life has been a whirlwind, and I feel like a lot of you guys have been in that same boat because we know what time it is. It's football season, the best time of the year. So we're feeling like it's like the holidays. It's like right before Christmas. I feel like for us football fans, September is like Christmas. And this is kind of like a little tease before it, the month of August. But you got to get ready. You got to get all the presents ready and stuff. So here we go. Pick 7 on the clock here. What the hell? All right. I had a little glitch there on my sleeper app, but we're good to go now. Definitely not taking Cooper Kupp with his injured ass, not doing that, not taking Jonathan Taylor. We're going to take Bijan, bro. Bijan Robinson, single QB joint. Going to go Bijan. And hell yeah, Vegas in a couple of weeks. Can't wait for that, y'all. Going to Vegas with the 420 crew. Going to be a good old time turning up. Be my first time in Vegas. Y'all better watch me. Watch me turn up out there. Yeah, it's going to be a really good time. Looking forward to it. Bijan Robinson. I had to go with him there at pick 7. Just felt like it was solid value. Couldn't go with Kupp or JT because of their injuries. Well, JT, it's the contract dispute on top of that, and we're not even really sure what the injury even is. Cooper Kupp is a hamstring injury. Could cause him to miss week 1. So we'll be interested. Oh, he goes there at pick 10. B-Man, not afraid of Cooper Kupp's injury. I am, to be honest. Fantasy Docs is scared of it, and I am too. Shout out to Dr. Nithin Natwa over at Fantasy Docs. He broke it down today, and I was with him. I was like, yeah, I'm not touching him in the first 2 rounds. If he falls around 3, I might consider it. But JT, someone commented, made the TikTok clip today about Jonathan Taylor, and they were saying about him being going in the third, fourth round in leagues now, and be interesting to see how far he falls here because there's no auto picks. Look at his green dots all throughout, and that really gives you an accurate measure of how far someone will actually fall, because if you have an auto picker in there, then it's just going to be like, well, the auto pick's just going to take him because the thing hadn't updated it. Yeah, of course, JT already the number one. So thankfully we've got a full room of people drafting. So we'll get an accurate assessment of just how far Jonathan Taylor will fall. Derek the King Henry goes there at the 2-3. Amon Ra. I like that star. Amon Ra there. Rayfield. Thomas Rayfield. Shout out to Thomas, man. Shout out to Thomas. This is his first mock of the year, I believe, at least with us. So I'm glad to see him up in here getting in the action. So definitely not going JT. I took Bijan already. Let's see. You know what? We might go Najee here. Najee's interesting because they've had a lot of receivers go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 receivers go. Could take Olave. Could take Devontae Adams. Could take Jalen Waddle. Yeah, it's kind of tough to decide. Could go Najee. Could go Jacobs. Let's try Najee. We'll go Najee. Najee Bijan start. RB. The only team in this thing that's done RB. And Lou, thanks for the invite. Yeah, no problem, Lou. Thank you for getting in here last minute. Glad you could make it, man. And Huss up in here, 420 Fantasy Hustler. What up, Guru Nation? What up, man? Vegas, man. Cannot wait. That is about to be crazy. We're going to be doing live drafts there. All kind of fun stuff. Live streams are going to be live on all the channels. That's going to be so much fun. Can't wait to finally meet the crew in the three-dimensional world. That's going to be really cool. Because we've been podcasting. I was telling my buddies, my roommates about it. Like, I've been podcasting with these dudes for over 2 years. It'd be really cool to get to actually meet them and hang out. And Bijan and Najee, yeah, I feel like it was a really good duo that I couldn't pass up on, because they took all the receivers. I just don't really like Devontae Adams this year, so I didn't really want to take a player that I don't like. So I went with Bijan and Najee. I feel like that was a good start. There goes JT. There goes Jonathan Taylor, 2.8. Didn't fall as far as I was thinking he would. I was thinking he'd fall to the third, but Joseph dropping his nuts there, taking him with the 2.8 spot. So the slide is ended. Thought it might slide. He might slide a little further, but the slide ends. Ramondre Stevenson goes. Patrick Mahomes went crispy going Mahomes, going with what used to be a stack there at Mahomes and Hill. Can't really argue with it. I kind of thought about Mahomes, but I was like, in single QB, even as good as he is, I don't want to touch a QB in the second round. Devontae Adams goes there. Salchi with a nice receiver duo there. Jamar Chase and Devontae Adams. So even though I'm not a big on Devontae Adams this year, 210, can't deny the value. That is some value. And yeah, we'll drop to the 30-second clock here. We'll do the first 4 rounds regular, probably, and then we'll drop to the 30-second clock to speed it up, because I've got things to do after this. But glad we could make this one happen. Couldn't do Monday. Mondays are just too hectic for me. Probably won't be able to do Mondays anymore. Wednesdays, though, a little more chill. So we'll just make it mock draft Wednesday. It doesn't have the same ring to it. They're just going to call them Guru Nation mock drafts. Mock draft Monday just flowed well, but, you know.
Come on.
This is what it is. Oh, no, our first auto. Mega Moon, what you doing, dog? I called his pants down. Come on, Mega. Come on. Marty, yeah, Minnesota Marty. I know he's ready. He got his boy Jay Jettis there at the 101. We'll see what he does here. I forgot to hold on, y'all. Let me pause this. I didn't mean to make this third round reversal. John, if you're listening, please don't pick. Let me pause this. Did not mean for third round reversal on the single QB joint. Had that set from last week and forgot to take it out. My bad, y'all. My bad. All right, so it should be updated now. Let's resume. All right, so Marty there was probably like, whoa. he was probably like, damn, I'm not going to get my pick here. But here he is now. He'll get his pick here at 3-1. Going Jalen Hurts. All right, there we go. And then let me hide this. I haven't queued anyone up yet, but in case I do. So. All right, Mega Moon's back. He's back and ready to go. That's good. Everyone now has a green dot. Appreciate y'all, man. This is a lit one, man. This is on Wednesday. I think if people are feeling the mock draft Wednesday, and so it'll be the new normal. And John was expecting it. I'm sorry, John. I had no idea it was still set to that. I had to. It's just like I wouldn't have been fair. I don't feel like to Marty and stuff because it's like I mean yeah I had to. I intended on it being regular snake like the third round reversal thing's more so for super flex because I feel like with super flex it's like you get such an advantage by getting one of those stud QBs where in single QB I mean Jay Jettis is nice but it's like it's not like an astronomical advantage. So, Mega Moon, come on, dude. What are you doing? Chris Olave, that's damn salty with the 3 wide set. That is nasty. Let's see what Andrew does. Shout out to Andrew over at Boston Sports Mania. He'll actually be joining us on the stream here in a little bit to break this thing down. So, yeah, shout out to Andrew over at BSM. He's got Kelsey and Stevenson. So far. And we see that Chase just pulled up. What up, Chase? Appreciate you tuning in, my bro. And yeah, we'll see what Andrew does here. And yeah, let's smoke it up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm not the biggest smoker. I don't have any on me. I don't even have any drinks tonight. I'm just sipping on water. But for those out there wanting to turn up, go right ahead. It's about that time. It's the evening, winding down from work. So, yeah, let's do all that. WR trio is tough. It really is, bro. Chase, Adams, and Olave. That is stacked. That is just wild. And then look at this RB trio. Eckler, JT, and Gibbs. That's pretty nice, too. So, a lot of interesting stuff going on here. I'm going to see what I'm going to do here. I'll probably go with a receiver here at this. What spot am I? 3-7. Devontae Smith, T. Higgins still there. Probably going to go with one of them with this selection. If Crispy goes with one of them, I'll go with the other one. Get a receiver locked in here. So I was expecting JT to fall further. He didn't. He went about, middle of the second. That's probably going to be where his ADP shakes out. I don't think Cooper Kupp fell to the 110. So they fell a little bit. Didn't fall quite as far as I was thinking. And Crispy, very good pick there with Devontae Smith. So I'm going to have to go with T. Higgins. So I'm not mad at it. I would have preferred Devontae Smith, but I mean, we know what we're getting with T. Higgins. That's 1,000 yards in the bank easily in that offense. And if anything would happen to Chase, then it could be 1,300 yards in the bank. And they've got the Devontae Smith, and a lot of these receiving duos are like that, where it's like if one goes down, the other's going to get a lot of volume. But good pick there by Sinker Kenneth Walker. Ken Walker with Zach Charbonnet's injury. Ken Walker should do really well moving forward as far as getting all the work in there. He's going to be all the first team reps over there to where he should be able to run away with the starting job. And Charbonnet will probably be a guy. He'll get work, but probably not much till the second half. So if anything, Ken Walker is a guy, if he starts off really hot, might be worth trading. Not that he's going to get in the doghouse. He's going to be a productive back all year. It's just if Charbonnet starts off real slow, then Ken Walker's overall production might drop a little. Breece Hall will go in here in the third. Dalvin Cook still hadn't signed a deal. I was thinking maybe the Jets would pick him up, but he's still a free agent. So Breece Hall now is still in position to do well. Even if they bring in Dalvin, I'm not opposed to drafting Breece Hall's ADP will probably slip a little bit, but when he's healthy, he'll be the most talented back. Dalvin Cook his age is not going to beat out a healthy Breece Hall. The problem is Breece Hall probably won't be healthy till the second half, but I would think he would he'll at least have a productive second half because the ACL tear occurred early enough last season where he should have that year recovery. And usually after about a year, guys are ready, especially someone as young as Breece Hall. The younger you are, the odds are more in your favor for a quick recovery. So I'll be willing to roll the dice with him like late third, early fourth round. Late second, early third. A little too rich for my blood, but at this price point, can't complain. Travis Etienne, good pick by John and Keenan Allen. So you see, they're not having third round reverse, though. He's still got good players. That's still a really good foursome. Let's see what Big Lou's got up his sleeve. First time mocker. Sinker. I think this is Sinker's first time as well as Thomas Ray. Marty, Crispy is his first one. Marty got in on it last week, I think, for the first time. So we've got some new faces up in here. Getting this thing popped off. Going Lamar. Big Lou going Lamar. So we got 4 QBs off the board. B-Man, let's see where he goes. He usually gets good grades. B-Man usually crushes these mock draft Mondays, but we're moving them to Wednesdays from now on. So interesting build here. He's got Henry, Joe Mixon, and Kupp. We'll see if I was him, I'd probably go with another receiver. Since Kupp's kind of Aaron Jones. Okay. So he's really relying on Kupp. Hero WR strategy. Don't really see that one too often. Usually you do the hero RB and then stack the receivers, but that's what these mock drafts are for, trying new things out. And I'm interested to see how all these teams end up here. So after the 4 rounds, we'll go to the 30-second clock to help speed it up. Whoa, Justin Fields alert. Man, I might just do it and take a QB early. I normally don't, but I've been noticing in these single QB joints, the QBs are starting to go higher and higher. And normally like to wait on them, but it's like, man, a lot of times I'll be hating my teams after because of the fact my QB sucks. So I think I'm going to just go ahead and take Joe Burrow right here. I have the Burrow-Higgins stack. Because it's like, if I wouldn't have taken Burrow there's no way I could have gotten him on the way back. So I might as well get my elite quarterback there and wait for the receivers to fall to me. Let's see. Amari Cooper goes. Good pick there by Crispy. Loading up on the receivers. Justin Herbert. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, these QBs are going higher and higher. I feel like the top 8 QBs are going to be going in the first 6 rounds. So unless you're willing to wait on like Watson or Dak, which a lot of times they even go higher than normal. So it's like, well, I say normal, that's the new normal now. People are starting to realize that the quarterback position, while it's somewhat devalued, it's still, you still want to have a competent quarterback. It's not just, you can just go on the wire and pick up something. A lot of times in these single QB leagues, it can be rough, unless you get lucky. If you're having to play roulette, with Ryan Tannehill and stuff, I mean, that is just, you don't want any part of that. That is gross, but yeah, just keep trying stuff, y'all, and we'll see how these things shake out. But yeah, that's just a trend I'm noticing. Quarterbacks are starting to go higher and higher. Miles Sanders there, good pick by Salchi to get his running back room going. Yeah, let's see what Mega Moon's got here. Hopefully he can get his pick in time. Not looking good. Doesn't have, there he goes. Green light on. Come on, Mega. 5 seconds, bro. You got this. Bro. Come on, man. Oh, you got it. DeAndre Hopkins. Good job. Mega Moon getting those picks in. Minnesota Marty. Let's see what he's got. He doesn't have a running back yet. He's got Jalen Hurts and a couple of badass receivers going. Oh, more Minnesota love. Hawkinson and Jerry Jeudy. Marty going 0 RB. He is taking 0 RB to a new level. No running backs, first 5 picks. Whew. We'll see where that goes. There for Marty. And actually, we can. Yeah, it is good. Yeah, it did get off to kind of a slow. So I guess we'll drop the clock. We'll get through this round and then drop the clock. Let's see what Andrew's going to do here. He got DK Metcalf as his top receiver. Drake London, more receiver love from Salchi. And it's pissing me off because, Drake London, someone I would have taken as my number 2. And now I'm going to be stuck with someone that I'm not that comfortable with as a number 2. But that's what always happens in these things. You always get stuck with something that you're just kind of like, damn it. Let's see. Joseph up here. He get Herbert with his last one. Doesn't have any receivers yet, so I think he'll go with a receiver right here. Maybe he'll surprise me. And then Crispy. Oh, yeah, he does Kittle. Okay, so he's going 0 WR. I'm already going 0 RB. So a lot of interesting strategies here. Crispy also at a 0 RB start. Yeah. I'll tell you what, there's a receiver right here that if Crispy doesn't snipe me, I think I'm gonna have to take him because he's just such an explosive playmaker. Yeah, Crispy goes Chris Godwin to keep the 0 RB train going. And I'm gonna have to go Christian Watson, man. Christian Watson is such an explosive playmaker. He's a guy, even in that new look offense, like Jordan Love, even if he sucks early on, it's like Christian Watson's somebody that can just go and make a play. And he can just he's just so good on film, so explosive down the field. Just someone that I feel like even if the offense isn't that great, he's going to find a way to eat. And we've got our guest here chilling backstage. Let's bring him on. Andrew from Boston Sports Mania.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. Glad you could tune in.
Yeah, very exciting. And yeah, started off with Travis Kelce today. And while I don't really have like a traditional number one wide receiver, I feel pretty comfortable with my team just because Kelsey's kind of that rock to lead my squad here.
Yeah, most definitely, man. And Marty said, "What's up?" Picking there at the 101, going 0 RB. And I know Andrew, you got Josh Jacobs there at the 3-4. That looks seem like a value to me, especially considering that it sounds like they're going to get that contract thing resolved.
Now Jacobs is a guy to me that if he was the only running back I had taken through this many rounds, I would be a little bit concerned because that's a lot of risk relying on Jacobs to sign that contract. But since I have Ramondre Stevenson, I think I have the upside of a great running back duo. And even if Jacobs is going to miss some time, still have a great number one in Ramondre.
Yeah, for sure, man. And you got DK and DJ Moore. And yeah, Ramondre, I mean, yeah, I know you've been live at Patriots camp. So
Yeah.
Ramondre looking good, I'm guessing.
Yeah, definitely. He had been limited until the day that I had come, but they didn't have pads on the day I came at practice, and that day he was running full speed with the first team. I think they're just trying to let him take it easy a little bit, but he did look good. He caught a touchdown from Mac Jones in some red zone opportunities, and yeah, I mean, I think really the question is who's going to be the next man up behind him as opposed to if he's the number one, because I think he has that role pretty much on lockdown right now.
That's what's up. Yeah, because it doesn't seem like the depth behind him. I mentioned that I did an AFC East fantasy preview yesterday for bet.nola.com and was breaking it down. I was just like, Ty Montgomery, Pierre Strong, neither one of them seem to be much of a threat.
Yeah. And I mean, Kevin Harris has been getting some looks in camp, but it's hard to think that a 6th round pick from last year is really going to step up and be that number 2 running back. Yes, I do see them bringing someone in, but I think it would be for the purpose of depth only. If you do see a Leonard Fournette or a Zeke Elliott sign with the Pats, that's just to sort of compliment Ramondre. I don't think it's a threat to Ramondre in any serious way.
Gotcha. Yeah, the only thing that would kind of scare me would be Dalvin Cook. I think Dalvin's going to go with either the Jets or the Dolphins, but if he ends up in New England, yeah, that could be trouble.
Yeah, that would be tough, but quite honestly, don't see that happening.
Yeah, I mean, either. I think he's going to want to go like to somewhere where he thinks he can win. Like, not that New England's like out of it. I mean, the season ain't even started, but it's just like I feel like there's kind of some stank on New England right now. With Bill Belichick, a lot of players aren't wanting to go over there. Where with Dalvin, he's gonna be the Dolphins. Mike McDaniel, flashy new offense, and the Jets with Aaron Rodgers. Like I feel like both of those destinations have a a little more, I guess, a little more pizzazz to him as opposed
Yeah.
to New England, where it's just like you got Mac Jones, or you got Bill O'Brien, but it's
I'm
just how.
telling you, if DeAndre Hopkins was in New England, we'd be talking about a completely different situation right now.
Right, yeah, because I was thinking that that was gonna happen, bringing in. That make my pick there, Deontay.
Mhm.
Feel like he's a solid PPR option to kind of complement Watson, who'd probably be more hit or miss. But yeah, Hopkins, it's like that was a thing. It's an arms race in the AFC East, and yeah, if you don't keep up in the arms race, it's like might be trouble.
Yeah, my thing with this, yeah, I mean, yeah. So in terms of the AFC East, I think the Patriots are kind of in a tough position because if they signed Hopkins, yes, maybe the offense takes a leap, Mac Jones takes a leap, but they don't have a clear number one wide receiver. Nothing really stands out, and all these other teams are making gains on them. And yeah, in terms of the Deontay pick, I wanted to talk about that a little bit because I, I think you've noticed probably I've been taking a lot of George Pickens, Pat Fryermuth. My thing on Deontay, I feel like he got a lot of targets last year, but didn't really do much with those targets. I feel like the talent that we saw out of George Pickens, the targets are going to reflect that this coming season. I feel like the offense is going to shift a little bit more towards Pickens and Fryermuth than they've been kind of values in fantasy drafts, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I could see that. I feel like though, like with the three of them, they all have pretty safe roles to where like they should all do fairly well.
Yeah.
And I feel like Deontay is the guy that's going to get the most volume. And it just goes to show how tough this draft is because I was wanting Mike Williams there, and I was like, oh, he might fall. But then it
Yeah.
goes had to go Deontay, and then it's like there was kind of a tier break after that because there's been all running backs after Deontay, and then Goddard at tight end, but just crazy how these runs go. He had Rashad White, and as the year
Yeah.
on the clock here, just took Connor. So,
Well, I'm going to break up this whole run on running backs here, and I'm going to take Mike Evans.
oh, okay. Some post, I don't want to say post hype. He is. I mean, he's just steady, just a steady force there, which is just no
Yeah.
more. Brady, he's definitely gonna drop, but with Brady, he'd be a third or fourth round pick.
Yeah,
Without him,
exactly.
he's now a
He's going
freaking.
in the 7th round. And I mean, yes, he doesn't have the week to week consistency that you might like out of a fantasy player, but the season to season consistency has been there since his rookie year. I don't see that 1,000-yard receiving streak breaking anytime soon.
For sure, yeah. I honestly think it could because this man Baker Mayfield. That just looks like a disaster all over it.
I mean, Baker's not great, but I think he'll at least, from a fantasy football perspective, will at least be decent enough to keep Evans and Godwin to like sustainable fantasy production. Not necessarily anything great, but I see them at least being flex options this year.
Yeah, that's fair because yeah, he went like way late as opposed to where he normally goes. You know,
Yeah.
guys like Jerry Judy, Scary Terry, DJ Moore, like similar to even Godwin
Mhm.
himself, all going in the fifth
Yeah,
round.
Godwin is to me like when you compare him to Mike Evans, I feel like they're going to end up finishing in a similar spot. Yes, Godwin has a safer week to week consistency to him, but I think the difference between Evans and Godwin is a little steep right now to the point where I'm more inclined to take Evans.
Right. Yeah, Evans a better value, it seems. And Michael
Mm.
Pittman went after him. That's another one I'm kind of staying away from because I know he's the number one over there in Indy, but if the Jonathan Taylor situation gets worse, it's like there's just I think that
Yeah,
offense
I
is
don't
gonna
know.
be it's gonna
It
be a mess. Like to
on
where I don't,
sleeper, I've been steering clear of him, but funny enough, on ESPN, he's been tumbling on draft boards, and I've been taking advantage there.
gotcha. Yeah, ESPN's kind of wonky. I haven't done many ESPN mocks. The one I did though, it pissed me off because I was just like, for one, the ADPs were all whack, and then it was like people were
Yeah,
just like, it was just they were making
they're not
like
as
just
invested.
yeah, exactly, exactly. It was just no like I've gotten used to the community here where we take it
Yeah,
serious. Pretty much
exactly.
everyone's in the room. Where there, it's just you're with a bunch of randoms, and they don't half of them leave, and it's just like it just throws it all off.
Mhm. Yeah. I was tempted early here. I forgot to mention this. I was tempted early in the second or third round to take Devonte Adams, but I felt like just I sometimes I don't love taking running back in the first round this year, but I do think if I don't come out of the third round with two backs, I feel like there's a drop off after that, and it's hard to really feel comfortable with my starting running backs at that point.
Gotcha. I took running backs pretty early there with
Yeah, you had Bijan and Najee.
yeah, let me oh crap. I had the clock change. I wanted to I think he got his pick in
It'll
there,
be
Big Lou. Hope I didn't mess him up. If Big Lou, if you want something else besides Dylan, let me know. Cause I said after like halfway, I was gonna cut the clock to 30 seconds because I know some people had wanted it done a little faster, but I think he's good. He didn't say anything. Dylan in the
look like
eighth hitting bad. Yeah, Pickens. Yeah, I would have maybe considered him, but I've already got two Steelers. I don't want too many eggs in that basket.
Yeah, I never love taking two players from the same offense unless it's going to be a stack with the QB.
Right. Yeah, I got Burrow and Higgins, so I got that stack going. Let's see what we got here. Let's see, running back. Probably could use a third running back. I'll go with the Kamara suspension and coming. I'll go with Old Faithful there, Jamal Williams. I get him a lot of times in like the eighth or ninth round. And okay, yeah, that was his pick. Good. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that works out for him.
Yeah, because and Thomas Rayfield, shout out to him. He was his first time mocking with us this year, and he was wondering opinions on his team so far. Pick 9 started off with we got CD, Amon-Ra, Brees, Fields, Waller, DeAndre Swift, JSN, and Penny. Pulled up Penny there a little higher than he usually goes.
I don't love taking both Swift and Penny, especially considering you only have one running back ahead of that, but I will give some credit to Waller. I will give some credit to that duo of receivers. So there's some elements I like. It's just a questionable decision to take both Swift and Penny. I feel like if you're gonna do that, I would take one of them and then take a running back from a third different backfield.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he could add like a Jamal Williams or a Brian Robinson or Khalil Herbert. I feel like all of them would have been decent number 3s.
He's been one of my favorites to draft, Khalil Herbert. And I know I already have DJ Moore here. I don't love investing too much in the same offense like it, but I feel like Moore and Herbert have both been great values in drafts, and it's hard to pass on those two. So sometimes I end up with that duo.
Right. Yeah, duos aren't bad. You know, I got the Steelers duo, the Bengals duo. So
yeah, when it gets to trio.
Yeah, and a Falcons duo, Bijan and Pitts. That's weird how that's worked out.
Yeah, a lot of duos going on.
Yeah, and I normally try to avoid that, but it's just sometimes it's the way the draft flows. You know, I'm not going to pass up on values like Kyle Pitts. Fair. I'm not a huge Kyle Pitts fan, but the 7th round, he was a guy last year that I was going in like, if I'm remembering right, like the 3rd round.
It's really a tiebreaker thing for me. Like if I already had, if I already had Ramondre Stevenson, and then it was a choice between, let's say, Juju Smith-Schuster and maybe Zay Flowers, I'd probably lean towards Zay Flowers just because of the fact that I already have Ramondre. But yeah, technically I do have. Technically I do lean towards Juju in that situation, but it's not that heavy where it's.
Yeah, I feel that.
Change that decision.
Yeah, and as far as Thomas, to kind of conclude my thoughts on his team, the only thing that's kind of weak with his team is the running back room. Everything else looks good.
Because I have barely any time.
There you go.
I've got my eye on Daniel Jones. Yeah.
Yeah, dual threat. You know, I mean, he goes late and he's a dual threat, kind of like the Deshaun Watson's a good value there late for a Salchi waited on a QB. Yeah, I'd been doing that wait on a QB and it had been burning me the past few single QB mocks we did. Yeah. So I was like, man, I'm just going to take Burrow early.
I know you've been a little hesitant about Daniel Jones as a QB1, but yeah, I feel like as long as I get someone to pair him with, I haven't minded it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Let's see what we got here. Could go another RB. Could go another wide out. Yeah, I'll take a shot on A-Chain. I'm interested to see what they've got up their sleeve there in Miami for A-Chain. I'm confident that Mike McDaniel's going to come up with something kind of innovative for him, being that he's so freaking fast and like just it's an explosive offense. So I'm
Yeah,
willing
absolutely.
to take the chance.
Yeah, I think as long as the biggest thing with A Shane is, are they going to sign Dalvin Cook? Because if they don't, he's gold, or trade for Jonathan Taylor. Like, there's been so many rumblings about them adding a running back, but then if they don't, A Shane, I feel like, is probably the guy there, because Raheem Mostert's coming on 31 now. I really don't trust any running back at that age. And then Jeff
Yeah.
Wilson Jr., yeah, could show some flashes, but A Shane's the more special talent of those two.
Right. Yeah. He's definitely the most talented in the backfield. So unless they bring in Dalvin Cook, I would think he'd see a lot of touches early and often over there. And I'm already bringing up the 32-man league. Can you believe that, Andrew? We have a 32-man league going.
Yeah, that's crazy. I heard I'm friends with, they actually went to my school this past year, just graduated. I went friends with a couple of the guys who run the Walter Picks TikTok accounts, and they had a 32 team Walter Picks league with every
Yeah.
single one. That was an interesting thing to hear about.
Yeah. I had the first overall pick. It was well, no, it's not. Well, it has a super flex spot. There's no QB spot. It's just a super flex spot. And you have one running back, one wide receiver, two regular flexes, and then I think 4 IDP spots. So you have a total of 9 starters.
Yeah.
And a 5 offense starters. So I had first overall in its 3rd round reversal. So I got to, it went all the way, and then it went all the way back. So I'm like, I'm still waiting to make my 3rd pick. All I've got so far is I had to take Mahomes first, since it's like quarterback premium scoring. So it's like, and so I took Mahomes first, and then on all the way back, I was like, you know what? I'll probably take a running back, since running backs are getting scarce. And I took David Montgomery with that pick 64, because I felt like he was fairly safe. In a league like that, you want something that's somewhat safe, because if not, you're gonna, if you don't have, like, if you take, because like J.K. Dobbins was there, I just didn't trust that, because
I mean, it's the
like
second
J.K.
year off the
Dobbins is,
ACL, so I do have a little bit more confidence in Dobbins this year. You sniped me there with Sutton.
yeah, I had to take Sutton, because I mean, with Tim Patrick's injury, it's like, yeah, I had to do it. And we got a group chat, Lou. We got a group chat over on Instagram. So follow, if you're not already, at Spencer the Guru, and just shoot me a DM, and we'll get you in on that group. That's where we text. Even if we have like a Monday or Friday where we do it, just like, yo, anyone down the draft? And so, yeah, let us know.
I just hosted my own on Monday when you weren't available.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was gonna maybe draft with y'all, but yeah, I was just like, Mondays are real busy for me. I had to like take a few minutes, be away from my phone, and then when I got back on, y'all had already started. But yeah, just whenever we want.
It's kind of tough to fill it, and then like figuring out when to start.
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, I definitely every week have usually like 20 people interested. It's just the time, though. Sometimes the times are different to where it can't always. Not everyone, like Chad would have so been down, but then the time just didn't work out. But still chugging along with, thanks for Lou for getting in. Always glad to have some new faces in here, and Lou's definitely one of those that, and he's drafting well. I like his team there. He's got some good talent.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna go with my quarterback pairing here. Take Geno Smith.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, Chase likes the value on Sutton, and yeah, I'm not a big Sutton guy, but now with this Tim Patrick thing,
yeah,
I just like that helps. That helps for sure.
That definitely helps. That definitely helps. I'm more of a Judy guy than a Sutton guy, and even Greg Dulcich has looked like a good pick late for a tight end, but yeah, I ended up going with Odell Beckham, who I kind of have in that same tier. I think him and Flowers in the Todd Monken offense, there's going to be room for both of them to succeed to an extent. I
Let's
don't see
see.
Bateman as much of a threat there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna take a dart three. I'm gonna take a chance. We were talking about this last week about the Chiefs receiving core.
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah,
go with Rashee Rice. Since the Sky Moore, they're starting to catch on the Sky Moore. They took was he was a pick before Sutton. He was a
yeah.
pick
I think
before Sutton.
he's rising up those draft boards. So it's kind of interesting because I think everybody is kind of believing their own reports that they've seen on the Chiefs receivers, but what it's resulted in is now you have 3 Chiefs receivers going through 11 rounds when probably only one of them is gonna hit that value.
Yeah, I still think Sky Moore's the guy to target, but yeah, you got Rashee
Mhm.
Rice and what is it referring to Kelsey as the third, or are you saying like three, like
Now more
wideouts?
Tony and Rice.
Oh yeah, Tony. Well, the thing with Tony, it's like I think Tony's gonna probably miss games early, and I think by the time he comes back, Rice might have already established himself, to where it might just be Moore and
That's true.
Rice, and Tony might just have to be him and MVS will be fighting for
And then
scraps.
even Justin Ross might be starting early.
Yeah, that's honestly the camp battle to watch, probably like the Justin Ross, Richie James, Rashee Rice, like which of
Yeah.
those
I
can
mean,
take that third spot in the three wide sets.
I think no matter what happens, we're talking about Mahomes' second option here because Travis Kelsey, I think, is one of the most reliable things in the NFL over these last few years.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's just he's a cheat code at freaking tight end.
Yeah,
So
we just took him for team analyst in the Throne League. I was advocating heavily for him, and he ended up winning the polls. So
what pick did y'all have?
we had number 6.
Number 6. Okay, yeah, that's good value. It's good value.
Mm-hmm.
anything
I
like
mean, he's my number 4 overall player. So
yeah, I was gonna say who went before. Yeah, Jefferson, CMC, Chase. Yeah, and Eckler. It's like yeah, you could maybe make a case for Eckler, or Hill, or Bijan, but anywhere from that 4 to 8 range, Kelsey should go no later than 8. Like anything
I agree.
beyond that is a steal because it's like maybe you could make CD. I mean, I like CD, but nine's about where he should go. And then Cooper Cup, I've been down on Cooper Cup, and especially now he's got the hamstring injury. Like I was
Fair enough.
not drafting him anywhere near
Yeah.
the first. And Thomas saying he watches a lot of Smitty from the fantasy football show. Just I would say just be careful when watching Smitty because Smitty's the kind of guy, not to disrespect him, and he's the kind of guy when he gets high on a player, he just goes head over
With some
heels
very
for him.
bold takes, I'll say that.
Right. So you just gotta with that, you just gotta know like most other people in your league like aren't gonna think like that. So if you make too many bold picks, it might come back to bite you. It's good to just sneak in a bold pick every now
Yeah.
and again, but you don't want to go too wild with some of the picks there because it's like I feel like ADP matters. I know people like Smitty don't want to worry about ADP, but I think there's something to say about it. There's everyone has a value, and if you start taking a player too high,
Yeah.
you're gonna pay for it.
What I've tried at times, especially when I'm near the turn, is I'll take one sort of more mainstream player that is high on the draft board that I also happen to like, just like agreement with the draft board. And then I'll go over to my own draft board, look at a player that I like personally, maybe take a little bit of a dart throw.
Yeah, yeah, and I think the thing with these dart throw guys
I'm
is
gonna take
you
my
gotta.
dart throw right here with Jalen Hyatt.
There you go. Yeah, that's your guy. You've taken him in
Yeah.
like all the drafts. Yeah, I mean, hey,
I think
why
he's
not?
gonna catch on by the time the playoffs come. So
Yeah, it'd be a good stash. Good stash there. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. What else can we get here? I guess I'll go with Chase Brown. Get another rookie running back in the room because Joe Mixon, man, Joe Mixon is so inefficient. So I
yeah.
think Chase Brown could have a role. And then Travion Williams got carted off. He might be out for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chase Brown. Even if Travion was healthy, I feel like Chase Brown would have been the go-to behind Mixon. Just, I think the Bengals got him at such a value in the NFL draft. They're not viewing him as a typical day 3 pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he's gonna have he'll be the P Ryan, I think.
Yeah, if it weren't for Mixon, still being there, I'd maybe be talking about Chase Brown as the Pierce of this draft. But Mixon is still there, so
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
really do that.
Honestly, A Chain might be the Pierce of this draft.
I mean, he was still a day 2 pick, so I don't make that comparison too much, but I do like A Shane in the range he's going. I've also liked Kendre Miller, but haven't taken him too much just because he's a very high risk player.
Yeah, I think they'll prefer Jamal Williams over Kendre Miller. Like I know Kendre Miller's got a lot of talent, but I just don't think I don't think he's gonna catch on quite as quick as some are thinking. The Saints are a very veteran-oriented team. I mean, they just brought in freaking ancient Jimmy Graham.
I
Like,
mean, that whole backfield to me is a mess. Like, I think probably your first 4 to 6 weeks when Kamara might be suspended, it'll be the Jamal show. Then maybe
right?
Kamara comes back, catches on, but I could see Kendre Miller then starting to compete with Kamara late in the season. The only thing that makes Kendre Miller somewhat appealing to me is it almost reminds me of what the Saints had 6 years ago in Kamara. It was 2 veterans and a rookie.
Yeah, yeah, that's a
And
good
what ended
point.
up happening?
Yeah, the rookie prevailed, so we'll see. I
Yeah.
definitely kind of like the thought of getting him late there because he goes late. But just from observing it, like I just don't see him
Yeah, I
being
noticed.
the next Camara. He's just got a different skill set.
Yeah, I noticed Sancho here took Kamara and Miller. That's an interesting
That,
strategy.
that that was smart. That was smart. Cover your bases. Invest in the backfield.
Oh,
Who
I was
just
hoping
went?
to get Zamir
Oh
White
yeah,
behind him.
Zamir. Yeah, it would have been a good handcuff. Let's see.
Yeah,
Yes.
especially with the concerns about Jacobs. I was tempted to take Zamir White in the last round, quite honestly.
Yeah. Sports spotlight. Who would you take at pick 5? 10-man PPR league, 1 QB, 2 running backs, 2
Mm.
receivers, tight end, flex.
If Kelsey's there, that's my guy. Otherwise, Eckler.
Kelsey or Tyreek Hill, I'd say would be the targets. Yeah, maybe Eckler
I'm
too.
not huge on Hill, just at least that early, because I mean, I get that he's very talented, but Jalen Waddle is still in his 3rd year. If he makes even more progress, that could hold back Hill from having the 2,000 yards that he talks about wanting to have.
Yeah, there's no way he gets to 2,000
And
yards. But
like Tua is not Joe Burrow. I don't see him the same as Jamar Chase. I think Jamar Chase could have a full on breakout year, like a second breakout, and end up being the overall number 1. I don't see the same upside out of Hill with that.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, Chase definitely a top 2 or 3 pick in all formats, I feel like. And Lou saying my league switched to PPR, 3 wide receivers, 1 flex, tight end premium. Okay, how high you taking Kelsey and Andrews?
Well, Kelsey may be number 1 overall on a tight end premium.
Yeah, it's just I don't know if he has a tight end spot or not. He may have taken the tight end spot away since it's tight. I know that's how the hustler leagues work. Yeah, they're tight end premium, but there's no tight end spot.
Gotcha.
So
I guess that makes it appealing to start one as a flex.
yeah, I'd still take him. I wouldn't really. I feel like that kind of just makes it like it doesn't really
He's the
change
best
the
overall
value
player.
that much. So like, and when he'll be scoring, like the only player that probably take over him because in tight end premium he'd be right up there with the top guys. The only ones that he'd be for sure 4 for me in tight end premium. And if they have a tight end spot, then yeah, first overall, no doubt. But if assuming it's the way most tight end premium leagues work, then I'd say I'd take him at 4.
And then I'm not huge on Mark Andrews simply because like I don't see that much of a drop off between him and then like the Darren Waller, Pat Fryermuth type guys. I've been big on Fryermuth, like I said, but
yeah, for sure. I think Andrews. I think he's pretty like he's a good amount better than them. But yeah, with the additions of Zay Flowers and OBJ, it's like yeah, I can kind of see where people will be a little skeptical about taking him. And like this, like over Olave, like yeah, there's no way I'd take Andrews
like
over
Andrews and
Olave.
Hawk have been my least favorite tight ends to take because I feel like those two have just had inflated ADPs compared to the guys that are probably in a similar tier to them.
Right, right. So, all right, yeah, I think we got a few minutes. You got time for grades, Andrew?
Yeah, of course.
Cool, cool. Yeah, we'll try to do them quick here. Only got about 10 more minutes left, but we'll get them in. We'll start off with Marty, Minnesota Marty. Shout out to him. He's got Justin Jefferson, Jalen Waddle, Jalen Hurts, T.J. Hawkinson, Jerry Judy, Javonte Williams, Isaiah Pacheco, Zay Flowers, Samaje Perine. Oh, we got Tank Bigsby. Okay, Michael Thomas, Russell Wilson, Jacoby Myers, K.J. Osborne.
Yeah, out of the gate, I love the receivers, but I really don't think this zero RB strategy worked out too well for him because Javonte as the RB1, if
Yeah, that's
he is
rough.
out for an extended period of time, I mean, I like him
Well,
as
you
like an
got
RB3 in
Perine.
that range, but as the RB1, I'm not a fan too much of that.
Yeah, and then Pacheco, he's coming off off-season surgery, so he's a little questionable. And then
Yeah, and then
Bigsby, number
Perine.
2. Yeah, very weak at running back. Everything else looks really good, though, so I'll
Yeah, and
probably have
then
to give it
Hawkinson was a little bit early for me, but still
right,
like him.
right. So I'll probably give it B minus C plus range,
Yeah,
like
that
somewhere in there.
sounds
Probably
right to
C
me.
plus because the running back room just, yeah, it looks really rough.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, those single QB leagues, it's like a lot about the running backs. Mega Moon up here. You got CMC, Josh Allen, Mark Andrews, DeAndre Hopkins, Terry McLaurin, James Cook, David Montgomery, Pat Fryermuth, Juju, Elijah Mitchell, Jalen Warren, Romeo Dobbs, Derek Carr, and Zay Jones.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I don't love taking a second tight end after taking Mark Andrews, but I mean, Fryermuth could have flex appeal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an interesting strategy.
Yeah, yeah, because he'll have, yeah, this is a 2-flex format. So yeah, he'd have, yeah, CMC, James Cook. His stock's rising, and he got Monty. I actually like this running back room. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
it's
The
pretty good.
receiving, yeah, receiving core kind of weak.
Who's his number 4 receiver?
Romeo Dobbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, Derek Carr's back. Not bad. It's just, yeah, Hopkins is the one kind of scares me. McLaurin and
I mean,
okay
it could
too.
work out.
Yeah, it's good workout. I feel like though it's good enough. I think it's good enough for a B minus.
I'd even give it a B. I think I'm a little higher on Hopkins than you are. I think he still has, yes, it's the Titans, but he still has WR1 upside. I feel like he more lands in the mid WR2 range, but you never know.
For sure, for sure. Marty's really high on Hawkins. He says Hawkinson 1K plus if healthy.
I mean, you never know. That would require a lot from Kirk Cousins too. I feel like.
Yeah, yeah. Kirk Cousins, he had a really good year last year,
I mean,
but
apparently he was injured last year, and if that's true, maybe he can do even better.
yeah, he was. Yeah, I've been watching the Netflix quarterback series with him, Mahomes, and Mariota, and yeah, he played a lot of the year with bruised ribs.
Mm-hmm.
Then let's see, Sanchi up next. We got Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams, Chris Olave, Miles Sanders, Drake London, Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, Deshaun Watson, David Njoku, Kendre Miller, Jamison Williams, Dante Foreman, Chuba Hubbard, and Isaiah Hodgins.
I mean, this is another classic example. Like when you go zero running back, you're not going to be quite as satisfied with the running backs, but also ended up waiting on quarterback and tight end here. So it's a little more balanced, but.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, and he got some pretty good backs, but yeah, no sure things. A lot of question marks. Going to really be dependent
Kamara's
on Miles
suspended and Cook
Sanders.
doesn't sign.
That's what. Yeah, exactly. He could be
What
kind of
happened?
naked there at RV2. And
Yeah,
Watson and Njoku, kind of.
I like
Yeah,
Watson. I don't
yeah,
know
yeah. I
about
like
Njoku.
Watson. Yeah, and Njoku could be pretty good. I think this one's it's a little bit above average. Well, it's the receiving core. Yeah, they're all about the same. I guess I'll give it. Oh man, it's like I'm so teetering on the edge with this one. Well, I guess I'll go C plus because of the risk with Cook and Kamara.
Sounds totally fair. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then Hawk's still a second option, 12 personnel. Yeah, Addison, though, I think is going to be heavily involved. And KJ Osborne
Yeah,
could
but I
be
still
good as
think
well.
Hawk's the second option.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. He'll do well. They'll both do well. Let's see. Andrews deal. You got Kelsey Stevenson, Jacobs, Metcalf, DJ Moore, James Conner, Mike Evans, Khalil Herbert, Daniel Jones, OBJ, Geno, Tyler Boyd, Hyatt, and Van Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it looks pretty good, man. I mean, your receivers got a lot of older guys. I mean, Metcalf and
Yeah, that's true.
Dude are pretty good. DJ Moore. Running back room pretty solid. You got Kelsey, Jones, and Geno. I think it's a solid B. I like what you did here for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, it might be a little biased. I'll say B plus, but I was feeling pretty good about most things. Just I mentioned the aging receivers and having a lot invested in a Bears offense that we don't really know what's going to happen with it. Other than that, I was feeling pretty good about my team.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, Joseph, I believe most of his, like at the end, got autoed, but still, it ended up okay. His receivers, though, ended up with a pretty rough receiving core there.
I'm not a fan of Treylon Burks at all with Hopkins signing.
No, me neither. Yeah, I'll give it running, but in JT, yeah, this is just like probably like C minus at best. Not Joseph's best.
I think that's a little harsh, but
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm more penalizing him because he left early, and he was the one advocating for 30-second clocks.
Maybe
probably
a B minus.
Probably because he knew he had to leave early. But Crispy up next. Shout out to Crispy. Got Tyreek Hill, Mahomes, Devontae, Cooper, Godwin, Goddard,
Gibson. A lot of 0 RB in this draft.
I know, right? Yeah, they waited all the way to Gibson and B-Rob, McKinnon, Jeff Wilson, Thielen, Mostert, Purdy, and Hunter Henry.
Yeah, I can't. I can't say much about those running backs.
Yeah, I feel like
everything else looks decent.
Yeah, I'll give him a C because everything else looks
Goddard
good.
As your 0 running back tight end, though, I'm not feeling huge on Goddard with AJ Brown, Devontae Smith probably ahead of him, and then DeAndre Swift is probably going to have a role in that receiving game.
Right.
And then you have 2 Eagles. I'll say, what do you say? B minus, C plus.
I gave him a C because I was just like the other.
That's fair.
Yeah, because the backfield he got both Commanders guys and McKinnon. Just nothing really, no real reliable backfield options. And I'm not big on Godwin. He got Mahomes though, so Mahomes it's fine. Mahomes like you get a C, maybe even a C plus because you could probably plug in some guys.
Yeah.
All right, I have to go quick here to finish it here. Bijan, Harris, Higgins, Burrow, Watson. I don't even read the names. I'm just gonna scroll through it. Jamal.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, what you think, man? You think I did pretty good, or?
I mean, I liked most of it. I'm just not a fan at all, really, of Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
I
has that stank on him
twice, to the point where I no longer have any kind of withstanding trust in him. I'd probably still go B plus here, though. Most of the team looks pretty solid.
Nice.
Maybe a B at the worst.
Yeah, I'd probably give myself a B because I feel like the receivers are pretty good. The backfield solid, and I like the Burrow Higgins stack. I'm glad I got that.
Yeah, and then I don't mind Najee, but I think it's a little early for my taste with him because we don't know which Najee we're seeing. Are we seeing first half Najee or second half Najee from last year?
Yeah, I'm thinking second half. That's why I took him.
Yeah, that's fair because the O-line's gotten better. I get your point of view there.
Mm-hmm. Sinker. Let's see sinkers here. Is that Saquon and Ken Walker? So backfield starts off good. Depth might be a little shaky though.
Yeah, not great, but I like Singletary and Spears late.
Yeah.
Depth picks. And the receivers are really strong, I'd say. Aside from I'm not a huge fan of Debo.
Yeah, Debo I think solid too though, and everything else about him looks good. Evan Ingram.
And then you make up for it a little bit with Mike Williams and Marquise Brown. I like both of those guys, so it balances out.
Mm-hmm. I like this one. This is a solid team. I'll give it a B plus. The only critique being that like his backfield depth's a little shaky. But I mean, he did take a lot of guys late there. I might even give this because I love Sky Moore. I might even give it an A minus.
I think you're in the right range there. I was
That's a good
tempted
team.
to say A minus, but I know those are rare on this. So
Right? Yeah, we keep we gotta keep it an exclusive club. We can't just be handing out A's. Like,
I don't think I've gotten an A minus yet this season, but I've still had some pretty solid teams. So
yeah, fantasy. Yeah, Sanchi. Yeah, those receivers, money in the bank. Yeah, he was saying he should have gotten a little better. I think we go bumped you up to a B minus. But yeah, that's a sinker's his boy. So yeah, he did good. But that's it. Let's see what Thomas did. CD Amon Ra to start. The Fields Waller combo. Backfield. Oh man, that backfield. That makes me sick.
I
I
mean,
mean,
for a double receiver and still getting Brees Hall, that's not bad. But he would have needed to add more depth after for me to like this backfield.
yeah, I like JSN. 3 tight ends, not a fan of that. Should have just taken one. And Bryce Young, like, yeah, his bench is very sketchy. And his start, I mean, I like the duo, but I don't know. The rest is just, yeah,
I mean,
not really
you're
feeling this
lower
one.
on Swift than I am. I didn't mind Swift in himself. It's just if this was Hall, Swift, Herbert, I would have been a lot higher on this team. But it's Hall, Swift, Penny. That kind of ruins the whole thing.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I guess I'll give it a C minus. C minus.
I think that's a little bit harsh.
Maybe a C.
I'm more in the B minus C plus range personally, but I understand your hesitation with Swift.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like he reached up a little bit on Fields and Waller.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, let's see. A B man. So he start off with Cup, then takes a trio of running backs.
Some old running backs there. That's my only thing about it.
Yeah, and the receivers, Dak. You know, got Dak and Dulcich. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not a huge Dak Prescott guy this year. Just I think there's safer options at quarterback, but
got Zamir White late. You know, this the Cooper Cup
yeah.
thing to start kind of scares me because with
And
the
then
hamstring.
like
But
who's the number 2 after that is kind of the question.
yeah, and Ayuk, Dotson, Pickens. Yeah, pretty good depth. I'll give it a C plus.
Yeah, I think that's about fair. I might go a little lower because I've been
Yeah, I
steering
like
clear.
Dak. I think Dak's solid this year.
I've been steering clear of Derrick Henry this year because I feel like
Yeah,
he's
he's,
at
he's
the
getting
age
up
where he's
there.
prone for that drop off.
Yeah, could be. Very well could happen. But I mean, he's just the King Henry, man. It's hard to bet against him.
I've been on the Henry train pretty much up until this year. I think this is the year where I finally jumped off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you won't be. Yeah, it might be better to jump off a year early than a year late.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
yeah. Nick Chubb starts it off for Big Lou. Shout out to Big Lou. He's got AJ Brown. He loves Calvin Ridley. I like me some Calvin Ridley
Oh
too.
yeah, I'm huge on Ridley. I was annoyed that he went that early because I'm like, maybe he'll fall back to me in the 4th round, just maybe.
Yeah, he's got a lot of stacks going on. He has the Ridley Kirk Jaguars duo, and he's got Lamar and Dobbins.
It's kind of the
And
same thing as the Swift Penny. Like you take the first one, hey, pretty good, but then the second one, it's like it limits the upside a little bit.
yeah, Schultz
I
and Irv.
understand because at the same time, one of them is probably going to hit every week.
Yeah, pretty good work here. Pretty good work. Don't have too many complaints here. I mean, pretty solid. It's I mean, because Schultz and Irv, one of them should be okay. Richardson's a solid backup. Because
I
by the
like the
time Lamar's
start a lot
bye
more
week
than the end.
comes, he should be good. What's that?
I liked the start a lot more than the end here.
Yeah, some of the bench guys are a little questionable. I'll still give it a B. I like Lamar this year.
I'd probably go B minus. Just I liked those first 4 picks, but the running back depth is questionable. The receiver depth a little questionable.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Let's see here. John the Bolt to cap it off. We got Diggs, Tony Pollard, and Etienne to start. So he's a lot of running backs there. He waited on
I like
quarterback.
those backs.
Yeah, those are good. And he gets Cousins and Golf. I like that. Komet Laporta. Damn, John the Bold. I like what he did here. Good work.
I'm not a huge Lockett guy because I feel like you've been saying that Smith and
Yeah, I like
Jigba is going to kind of
JSN. Yeah.
evenly cut with Metcalf and Lockett, but I feel like Smith and Jigba is eventually going to have the Lockett role.
Yeah, I think so too. So yeah, Lockett definitely on his way out, but he got Addison. I think Addison's trending up with Cousins.
Yeah,
I think
that's
Komet
fair.
and Laporta, like
You want
that.
to be
Golf.
plus here.
Yeah, I might even go A-. I like what he did. I feel like he did pretty well. But yeah, probably B+. Yeah, we don't, yeah, unless something really catches my eye, don't give out E's.
I think it's just, to me, the quarterbacks and tight ends, if they were a little bit stronger, then yeah, maybe an A-. But I mean, it's the best you could do if you're taking all running backs and receivers the first 8 rounds.
Right. So, all right, y'all. That's gonna do it. Appreciate everyone that tuned in. It was another fun one here, mock draft Wednesday, but gotta have to shift them to Wednesdays. But still live, still lit, and we'll be back next Wednesday with a brand new one. And so, yeah. Any final thoughts, Andrew, before we go?
I mean, don't have much. It's been a great mock tonight. Thank you again for having me. But yeah, I think that's about it.
Cool. All right. Well, on that note, for Andrew Roberts and Spencer Guru, this has been Mock Draft Monday. Peace. Or Wednesday. Peace out.
Hello, what's up, Guru Nation?